Karnataka is, and more so Bangalore is a startup capital of the world, we can say. So we have more than 18,000 startups coming from Karnataka. And then this is a startup policy, 2530 is a second version. That means we already had one policy before, and there's a lot of learning which has gone into it. And now the government is strategically focusing beyond Bangalore. So we have already identified 6 potential clusters, and of which in 2 phases we are taking them up. And then the phase will be majorly concentrating on Mysore, Hubli Dharwad region and Mangalore region. Apart from that, we'll eventually follow it with Kalburgi, Shimoga and Tumkur regions also, because all of these are potential areas. So the startups, already we have more than 5,000 or 6,000 startups, emanating from these areas. So the focus now is to also push them further by building a similar ecosystem which we have in Bangalore beyond Bangalore areas. Right. So that's why, as you mentioned, the 7-pillared approach, the strategy which we have devised, starting from the nurturing, that is the student entrepreneurship onwards, up to the stage of market access and funding them. That is the approach which we have taken up. Right. So there'll be a lot of incubators, accelerators, centers of excellences, etc., which will be parallelly, built up to support this initiative. Right. So we are confident that the next generation entrepreneurs will be supported through this initiative. 25,000 in the whole state is the minimum we are expecting, and then at least 10,000 coming from the in the neighborhood of Bangalore.
Absolutely, and very admirable, no doubt, that these numbers are something that you hope to achieve, and especially with significance to outside Bengaluru in these clusters that you mentioned. But if I were to ask you, what exactly will be the focus areas for you from a sectoral point of view? I know for a fact that Bengaluru has had its key core areas in tech, deep tech as well, space tech is another area too. But going forward, even as you expand the volumes of startups that you hope to nurture out of Karnataka and outside Bengaluru, which are the key focus areas for you that could play into this plan?
Yeah, rightly said. Bangalore, of course, is like multi-sectoral in that sense, because we have a lot of academic institutions which can handhold and nurture and even the industry partners who are there to nurture. Whereas beyond Bangalore, I think certain clusters have inherently their own advantage. For example, Mangalore is very advanced in fintech. The first banks came out of Bangalore. Likewise, Mysore, for the semiconductors, manufacturing and design sector, there is a big potential that they have already shown. Likewise, in the Hubli Dharwad area, because of the manufacturing base that is already there, electronics and then EV, etc., they have their own strengths. Banking on this, but then, we are trying to encourage all the deep technologies across and beyond Bangalore. Right. That is how we are planning. And since inherently some of them already have their strengths, we are trying to build upon it further. But it doesn't mean that other sectors are not encouraged there. But then we are trying to see already what is easily achievable can be further scaled up. That is a strategy. Right. So that's what we think it'll be.
Absolutely. I also want to talk a little bit about the incentives that you've planned, which is an important part of the policy document that you've released. Let me read them out. Patent subsidies is one. SGST reimbursements, R&D project grants, and internship support. Given the fact that the first 2 of these, are sweeteners, so to speak, to ensure that you attract more startup talent, do you think subsidies and reimbursements or, SGST on the SGST front would be very critical to attract more companies being set up out of Karnataka? Is that going to be a very important part of the way you take the startup policy forward?
I think it will be one of the ways, probably not the way, but then because any company to set up will also look at the entire ecosystem. I think one of these is, like you said, a sweetener, but it's one of the aid or which helps them further, And talking about beyond Bangalore, as it is, the cost will be a little bit lesser than Bangalore, 20-25% actually must be, that's what we are expecting. The cost will, because the travel cost and other things will come down, the real estate cost or office space cost, all this will come down. Anyway, apart from this, even considering Bangalore, what we are saying is that these incentives will kind of support at least the, the startups which are scaling up, or even the industry which is growing, that will support them. Right. Because it's a substantial cost of manpower, even electricity duty waiver and things like that are also built into the, of course, it's the startup policy, but I'm saying these are also things like rentals, reimbursement of the Provident Fund and ESI, which they have to spend, internship for industries, to nurture the talent, skilling them. So we are encouraging student internship programs in the industry. Right. So it will help them further, and they will also positively take it up. Right. So that's the idea.